I would like to start off this video with apologizing with my absence on here and not being able to come up here and make videos every day. I've gone through something very traumatic, very difficult to deal with. I'm finally starting to come around and realize that if I only dwell in the negative and what's missing and my attachment to this thing I'm about to tell you about, I'm just going to keep feeling depressed and not moving forward in honor of him. I, this past week, lost my dog Dexter on Wednesday, and he is a very important part of my life. I don't have babies, I don't have children, kids. He was my son. So if any of you guys can relate to losing a fur baby or your pet, cat, whatever the case may be, I'm sure some of you can relate to this loss that I've recently just gone through. But it's Sunday now, and the past few days I've been starting to feel like myself again, when really it's still tough when I arrive home from work and his head's not in the window waiting for me, or barking, waiting for me to bring my gym bag in, my lunch can, items that are in my vehicle, and just seeing him there, looking up at me with excitement with his tail wagging. I realized that his spirit, his memory is still in our home, and he is still here with me on this journey. When I began this personal development journey of making these videos, you remember all the outdoor ones with the forest and the trees background on my front step, which I'll start bringing some of those back here now that it's summer here in Nova Scotia. That he was here through all of that, and he saw the old version of me before I was able to shift, before I was able to observe and not identify with old programs and start to create a new identity and character like I talk about on the channel quite often. He did not judge me as the old person or the new person. He loved me regardless. And he saw me back 5 years ago when we rescued him from the SPCA as the old person who was out of shape, who still lived negative, who still drank on the weekends, who still thought he needed certain things to feel happiness, validation, love. Because I didn't feel those things about myself, I needed outside substances. I needed things on the outside of me to make me forget the depression, the guilt, the feeling never seen or heard in my past, in high school, in school, with my parents from time to time, and obtaining people pleaser like tendencies and wanting to cater to others is something I attained from my mother. She was very loving, could feel other people's energy, and not in a she's doing things to get results from other people. She was just a loving woman. And I realize where that side of me comes from now, and I no longer fight it. Like, not that I'm not a people pleaser, nor am I a narcissist. I'm just someone who lives a very spiritual life and is here to aid and guide others in feeling self superiority. And what I mean by that is not superior to others, is a superiority to the victim in us, to the feeling shallow, to feeling ugly, to feeling fat, to feeling like others don't like us. And when we switch that mentality to knowing that all of the good things that would come against those that would make us finally feel seen, feel attractive, feel in good shape, feel mentally stable, that those things already live within you. Those things are in you right now. And if you're someone that feels a lot of the negative that I just mentioned, that what this channel is about is to bring awareness to you as a human being, and knowing that you have the power to tune into the version of you that no longer lives in those past negative moments, those past negative emotions, those past negative thoughts that create the emotions, which then create temperaments and identities based on those things we're not willing to let go of. So just all of it in total. He saw me before and he saw me after, and he loved both versions of me unconditionally. He might get annoyed when I wasn't paying attention to him and I was trying to make one of these long form videos every day. Because if you guys remember who've been with me for a while, you could hear him sighing or kind of like annoyed with me making a video in the background with like, one of these videos again, Dad. But all in all, it wasn't because he didn't like me or what I was doing. He was set in his ways, right? He lived with a lot of programming, being attacked by a bigger dog at his former home, running away from that home, and then his owner putting him up for adoption at the SPCA here in Sydney, Nova Scotia. Back in 2020, that's in November, that's when we got him. And you know what? We got 5 amazing years with him. And just having him as my dog son, my dog child, it taught me a lot about myself and how I was able to give love, even though me and Beth chose to not have kids, and we're in our 40s now. I just turned 40 this year, but having kids is just not part of our plan. And having him made us feel love for, the parent and child dynamic that we may have felt was missing. So that is why it really took me a long time this week to grieve. And I did feel those feelings and thoughts of life's not fair. Why me? Why my dog? Why did this happen? To starting to, if I'm just going to feel and think like that, I'm going to continue staying and feeling like that. If I don't change the perspective to that, it's all part of life, and we're not all meant to live forever here, whether it's a human or a dog. And it's not that life is not fair, it's that his time had come this past week that just happened. And I choose to acknowledge all of this stuff. I cried for 2 days because you know what? If we think we need to be men and not cry and we can't show emotions, that you're going to continue living negative like that for a very long time, and living depressed and feeling like life is against you because it took your dog away. Or it's not fair. God did this to me. When really letting go, being able to fully let go and not suppress that stuff, because it'll keep getting suppressed and repressed, and you'll continue living. And that's what I call the spiral. To get beyond that spiral, this can be used in many of your other relationships, not just losing a pet, not just losing a girlfriend or boyfriend or husband or wife. Allow yourself to feel it. And I've talked about this many times as per one of my favorite books by David Hawkins, the Letting Go book, which it's what really skyrocketed my ideas when I first started this channel. Between that Letting Go book and the Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself by Joe Dispenza and all the meditations at the end, that is what kicked started my whole personal development journey in becoming someone who makes videos on this channel and social media clips. That is where I found a love for doing this without needing anything in return. That is what shifted my mindset with my fitness content, with the way I look at everyone in the outer world when I'm in public. Why I speak so freely on these topics, on these videos, is because I feel that way. And I'm here to share that message, those positive emotions, those positive ways of thinking and being and knowing that you have it within you. Because I am currently living as that man. And I know that you have the power within you to achieve that as well. And this video here is just to say, I have to move past what happened. It's very tough. I got the tears out. And I'm sure I'm going to cry again. When I go into work and see the picture I have of me and him hiking, and I got a red plaid jacket and he's got his black dog plaid jacket. And you know how I love being in a flow state in the mornings, feeling love, feeling joy. And taking him for a morning walk was part of that. And there's a picture of me and him when I've got my to-go coffee mug in my hand, and it's just, I'm hugging him, and it's just a beautiful picture. But you know, the old way of thinking, I don't want to feel that, so rip up and burn that picture so I don't want to see it ever again. You know, instead of hiding that picture because I couldn't handle it, I took the photo out and put it next to my computer on my office desk where I work at, and I dealt with it. It's not easy, but I allowed the picture to be there in the open because of my dedication to my love for him, in honor of his memory. Same as me coming out here on a Sunday morning and making a video to get past it. Just because I love him and he loves me and he's still with us. We're going to get his ashes back. And it comes with a little paw print. We could even choose to, you know, I'm a guy who loves tattoos. I could get his paw print, you know, inner bicep or the outer side of my forearm here. I haven't decided that yet. And we have a little garden planned for him where we could put some of his ashes. So when we do go out on the step in the morning for our morning coffee and flow state on the weekends, that we can cherish his memory, because his favorite thing was going out and getting sun on his skin. He would bake in the sun. I don't know if you guys own dogs or have a dog, you could relate to this. Where the dog, and mine was a pit bull, he would be up before us in the morning waiting by the step door, waiting for me to wake up so that I could open the door and he could just go out there and start tanning. And I would go out there and read whatever, these past few years, whatever self-help book I'm into. Right now, I'm reading the Awakening the Giant Within, the Tony Robbins book, great book. And we'd just go out there and I would read and he would just love being in silence and just taking in the sun rays. And it's also a healthy thing for us as humans as well, to go out and allow some sun to get into our eyes without staring directly at the sun, and letting it get all over your skin for that first 5 or 10 minutes when you first wake up. There's a study showing that it resets your circadian clock. So when nighttime comes later in the day, your body will adjust to what morning and night is, and not have those feelings of having trouble sleeping. And it's also very healthy and good for your skin in moderation. You don't want to burn your skin or cause any type of skin cancer. So be careful of that. It's actually healthier to take the sun naturally on your skin with no sun lotion on. I'm not saying to go out for 3 hours and do that, but in small doses, it's excellent. And it's good for your mind and your body. So that is where I'm at in life right now. And that is why I haven't had much time to make, you know, I've dropped to, I'm doing about two long form contents per week. And it's not like my old job I used to have where I would have a lot of free time. I was making a video 7 days a week, I think. And I'll get back to it. I'll make videos as much as I have time for. I'm not putting any conditions on it. When I have time, when I'm in the right mind space to do it, I will make videos. And we're going to keep moving forward. Dexter would want me to keep pushing forward as the strong individual that I've become, the man that he has seen me grow into, the teacher, the person who is helping others on a spiritual level, because that makes me feel love. I am here for you guys, regardless of what you have lost, regardless of what you are struggling with. I'm here to show you that you have the tools within you to tap into a power that can defeat this old way of thinking and being, and creating a person that can handle any of the challenges that are thrown at us in the form of loss, in the form of feeling defeated, in the form of being victims, not being good enough, being seen or unheard, being not attractive enough. You have the tools within you to create a new reality. And that is the path we are going to continue on with my content on the channel. So I thank you for taking the time to take in this very special video, a dedication to my lost dog. And we will see you on the next video.